Hey, welcome back to a brand new video. Now, I already know that I've spoke about LenTotally at length for a lot of videos that you could probably watch to catch up on everything very quickly and basically be informed on everything that Len did, but I've decided that it's probably the smartest thing for me to do the whole explanation in the intro of this video for the first 4 minutes so that I can catch up to speed on every single thing that's happened with Len, so that there's no excuse for Len, and so that everyone is caught up on exactly why Len hadn't already been cancelled and why Len is now being called out and absolutely destroyed to the point where it's believed that Len has deleted their channel, and whenever you search it, it says that the channel is unavailable. Now, I don't know if YouTube's taken action against Len, or if Len's just deleted their account for now and then maybe they'll return back. My presumption is that Len intends to take down their account for a little bit and then delete all of their videos or privatize all of their current videos and change their channel name and then return like nobody ever knew that it was them. But who knows, at this point, it could go anyway. Len could actually just quit, which would be the great outlook. I'm pretty sure that Len saw my video, and that's why that Len deleted their channel. But I'm genuinely not sure if Len actually intends to return, or if they don't. So that's why I've decided to make this video to spread more awareness on it, so that everyone's caught up and is aware of what Len likely intends to do, which would be return under a different name, so that everyone can keep their eyes out. I feel like it was something Len was setting up in his past community post that I covered in my previous video the other day, where he said that there would be other channels cropping up with similar animation style because he'd been teaching people how to animate like him. Now, that's my worry. I have a sneaking suspicion that what Len's gonna do is make another account, animate in the exact same way again, and then just say that he was taught by himself so that people get off of his back without anyone giving him any backlash or trying to call him out on it. But before I actually go into this video and get into my explanation of everything that's happened so far, if you're willing to financially support this channel, which would be highly appreciated if you are, these videos take a lot of effort to make, and I'd really appreciate any kind of support I can get to make it a little easier to make these videos for you. I have a Patreon, Ko-fi, and join button all down below by clicking that join button in the description, or clicking the Ko-fi or Patreon links. You can check out those platforms, donate to me, and support me in multiple different ways. It could be as minimal as $1 or as much as $100. I don't mind as long as you can actually afford to give me that donation and have no issue with giving it to me. That would be highly appreciated. I would appreciate any kind of support so I can hire editors, so I can make maybe multiple videos in a day, which would be sick. I would love to be able to make multiple videos in a day. But basically what I'm saying is I'd appreciate any kind of support. Also, if you're new to the channel, or haven't already for some reason, please do leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. I make videos every single day on various different topics, from the popular MMOs drama to the LenTotally drama to everything else you can imagine, from LGBTQ abuse, not by me, obviously I'm calling out the abuse, and serious topics in my own personal life, like story times where I go in depth on experiences that I've had with certain different people, and all of that stuff. So, if that type of content does sound like it's up your alley, I post at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you get notified every time I upload. But YouTube isn't very good at notifying, so if you want to check out my other social media instead, like my Twitter and Discord, you can join those platforms and you'll get notified every time I upload if you turn on notifications there, which would be highly appreciated, and you'd also be able to allow me to grow my other communities. I love being able to engage with you guys, and it's a lot easier to engage on a platform like Twitter or Discord than it is to engage with YouTube comments, because there's just so many comments that it becomes impossible to have a conversation with people, and YouTube doesn't really send out notifications for replies properly, so it's really hard to communicate with you guys. And with that being said, let me catch you back up to speed on who LenTotally is, what LenTotally did, and why they deleted their channel, and if we'll ever see them return, which I honestly hope we don't. Please don't return, Len. Nobody wants you back. Nobody wants you back. Especially because you continue to excuse your behaviour. LenTotally is a disgraced gacha content creator, very well known for their animations. Their animations stand out in the gacha community as incredibly well made, with what I can only presume to be rotoscoping, which makes them very clean, very clear, and very, very high quality. They're iconic for some of their work, and hugely popular in the community with over 600,000 subscribers on their channel, which is a huge following to amass, and as such, that is a huge audience of mostly kids that could, in the event of a predator getting access to that platform, take advantage of those kids to cause them harm in multiple different ways. But that's exactly what happened with Len. because Len is not the reliable, fun, kids family content creator that they make themselves out to be. Len is a predator. And there's a reason we know that. LenTotally was caught sending inappropriate messages to a 14-year-old despite being over 18 in his country of residence. Now, both of these people, the victim and the creator, live in the Philippines, and although the age of consent over there is 12, that doesn't mean that what Len did gets the pass, because, the age of consent is technically legal. Len still shared illicit images with them and received illicit images, which is still a crime. And also, Len was taking advantage of them and manipulating them with what we can only presume to be the intent to meet up, which is why it could also be classed as the GR word that I can't say, otherwise Big Susan will come down and smite me. She will just bonk me on the head with a baseball bat, and I really don't want to be bonked on the head with a baseball bat, because whenever that happens, the next 6 videos do awful. But Len was called out for sending inappropriate messages to this minor, sending inappropriate images, and receiving inappropriate images from this minor, who apparently has a high reputation in the community, and as such, people started calling out Len. When Len got called out for all of this, and was exposed for this terrible behaviour, this absolutely disgusting, disgraceful, illegal, and unforgivable behaviour, Len's response was to admit to it all, acknowledging every single mistake they made, but instead of being like, yeah, I'll try to do better, I'll get myself help, I realised that I am a completely terrible person for doing this, they admitted to everything, and then made a multitude of excuses as to why they did this stuff, and why they should be forgiven for it, why people should just let it go under the rug because it was just a slight mistake, or a lapse in judgment, or it really wasn't that bad because the law technically says that some of it is legal, or that people are falsely accusing them and that they're being made out to be much worse by people that have power who are taking advantage of them. But there were times where Len did actually admit exactly what they did, so Len knows full well that they have committed crimes and that they are unforgivable. So it's such a confusing situation that Len knows what they did wrong, they admit what they did was wrong, and then they try and make excuses for it nonetheless. And then in my last video, I discussed how after being called out for all of this, and it continuing, they made their response video, which didn't go down well, because again, they made a bunch of excuses for themselves, and after that response video came out, they released a community post, which was the focus of my previous video on Len, where Len basically said that they were being made out to be a villain, and that they were going to continue posting content to YouTube because they're a college student that needs the money, to which I suggested to Len that they should stop making content, because by making content, they're put in a situation where they can once again prey on minors like they have done, and that they're a danger to those same minors. They don't deserve a platform for kids' content if they're going to prey on kids with that platform. That should be a given, considering they literally preyed on kids. You cannot trust them ever again with their platform. But to be honest, I would have thought Len would have just pushed through. They have a mostly kid audience that doesn't really understand what they did was wrong, and as such, they could just continue pushing forward and probably continue growing their audience. Well, that's what I thought, but before Len privatized their sub count, it was going down by thousands. I believe they lost over 40,000 subscribers after being called out, which is a drastic amount of loss. An incredible nosedive in their support, which I believe is in part thanks to people like me, Noni, and our communities that have brought attention to this and helped us with getting information on this situation out. So thank you to everyone that has watched my videos and then spread more awareness on this stuff. It's really important that you guys continue talking about this, sharing this information everywhere that you can, like Reddit, Twitter, and making sure that people are aware of Len so that when Len may possibly return, people notice them and stop them from building up another audience capable of taking advantage of minors again. And the reason I think they will return is because in their previous community post, like I mentioned briefly in the intro, they said that they would be teaching other people that they know how to make these kind of gacha animations that they already make. So if people see more animations like what Len makes, people shouldn't immediately go and attack those people because they aren't Len, they've just been taught by Len. Now, that, in my opinion, is a worrying statement. What I believe is going to happen is Len is going to make a new account, pretend that he's just been taught by himself, and continue the criminal behaviour they've already exhibited towards their audience, which, to me, is a huge concern. It's not going to be hard for Len to build up a new audience, because they have a clear talent, and with that talent, they can grow up a platform very quickly, because people love their talent, and because it's based on memes, because they have the best animation, it means it's going to be seen by way more people by default, and they're going to grow an audience way quicker, which is my biggest worry. I worry that Len will be able to return without backlash if they just make a new channel. But that doesn't mean I'm not incredibly surprised that Len deleted their channel. While I believe that they'll do the Maximilianus thing where they just make the channel back, which you can do, you can reinstate a channel after taking it down, which is what I expect them to do, because then they can just change the channel name. And because it's such a big platform that already has such a big audience, if they hide the sub count, no one will even know it's them, and they could just revamp everything. People would never know it's them, and they can continue producing content and making money. There's so much money coming from the LenTotally channel that I wouldn't be surprised that they wouldn't want to give that kind of money up just because they've been called out on their terrible behaviour, and that's why I fear that Len will continue making content under a different alias now, so that they can continue getting away with this terrible, terrible criminal behaviour, and continue making money from their kid audience that they've already taken advantage of once. I really don't know what to do in this type of situation. I wish, like, YouTube would step in and take some action against people like Len, like Minilad, like those content creators that do all of this terrible stuff. I know that they hear about a lot of this stuff because obviously most of these videos that are on these people end up getting held for review, and then YouTube manually reviews them to give them ads, which a lot of them do, some of them don't. YouTube or a YouTube employee has to watch these videos to review them, and as such, you would hope that while reviewing the videos, they would notice a lot of what is being claimed against these creators, look into it, and ideally take action against them in some sort of way, but as far as I can tell, they won't. But for the time being at least, Len is gone from YouTube, their channel is deleted, and as of right now, you can't see any of their content, get in contact with them in any way, and they can't take advantage right now to prey on their fans in any kind of way, which is a good scenario to be in, and I genuinely hope that the scenario we're in right now is the scenario we stay in for the next forever. I hope that Len never returns. I hope that they get a job in the real world. Maybe they could work at an animation company, but I hope they never have the platform like they had before, ever again. But being more realistic, Len will probably return. So I'd like to ask you to keep your eyes out for the next time Len returns. Their YouTube channel link is youtube.com/LenTotally. They can change it, but when that happens, you should notice that they've changed it. And for a few days after them changing their channel name, it should still show up under LenTotally in the searches. So please do keep your eyes out to make sure that Len doesn't get the opportunity to return in any kind of way. I appreciate all your help on stamping out people like Len. I appreciate everyone that watches these videos, sits through them with me, and listens to me look through and give them information on all of these situations. Obviously, these videos aren't easy to make. They take a lot of research. A lot of research. Literally months of research. Like, I'm currently working on one that I've been working on for quite a while now. These situations aren't easy to cover in any way, so any support you could give me to continue making this content would be highly appreciated. All you have to do is subscribe. That is enough support for me. By subscribing to the channel, you help me reach my next goal, which is 30,000 subscribers, and you support me in multiple different ways that I can't even explain. By subscribing, you allow me to make this into a career, which has been my childhood goal since I was 11, so it's insane that you guys have supported me and got me to a fourth of my dream goal that I've been thinking about since I was a kid, having a plaque, and it's crazy that you guys just keep going. We're 25% of the way there, and we're going to be at 30% by next month, which is nuts. It's nuts. I can't explain to you how much it means to me that you guys continue supporting me this much, and giving me all of your support, and just sticking with me, and watching these videos, and supporting them, and spreading them, and bringing awareness to them, and giving me support, and all of that. I actually want to take a moment to just say thank you. Thank you for everything you've given me. Thank you for the opportunities you've put in my hands by just putting your trust in me and supporting me. It means more than, like, you'd think. You'd probably just think that it's kind of like quite shallow, where it's, oh, well, you know, you've got numbers or whatever, but it really does feel different when you see all the comments of people showing you support and listening to you and paying attention to your videos, and you're getting heard, and people just sitting around you and being there for you is different. It's a very special position I'm put in that not a lot of people get the opportunity to be in, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. With that being said, My other social media are in the description as well if you want to check them out, and continue supporting me on different platforms. That would be highly appreciated as well. I'm aiming for 3,000 Twitter followers by the end of the year and 2,000 Discord members by the end of the year. With that being said, another video will be coming out tomorrow. I'll be on holiday soon, so some of the videos you'll see will be recorded beforehand. So sorry if there's a few videos that feel a little subpar. They have to be rushed a little bit so that I can get them out in time, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, I guess. With that being said though, thank you for watching, hope you have a great day, and with that being said, thanks for watching, and peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.